What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. And Arsenal still changing their mind on these things, you know. 1 minute the player's staying, the next minute he's going. They just can't make their mind up. And today it is William Saliba, the Arsenal centre-back. Now, stories emerging today that Saliba is going to stay at the club after all this news last week that Saliba was on his way out and that he could be going to Championship side Brentford or even potentially Watford on loan. It now looks as if Saliba will stay at the club until at least January. And there's been a U-turn. Just before we get into it, I had to put my Lakers jersey on, man. LeBron, you know, Lakers turned up last night and done the business, man. I was up late watching that. For any of you basketball fans out there as well, great to see the Lakers win that. Anyway, let's get back into Arsenal. Saliba's staying. I have to wonder sometimes who makes these decisions at Arsenal, man, because, you know, we've left William Saliba out of the Europa League squad when surely the Europa League would have been one of the best competitions for Saliba to play in. You know, they're saying now that Saliba will be registered in the Premier League squad. Surely the Europa League would have been a much easier process for Saliba to settle in than the Premier League. You know, what? It's just crazy. I don't know who makes these decisions at Arsenal. 1 minute you're leaving, the next minute you're staying. It's mad. Personally, I did a video on Saliba last week. I didn't upload over the weekend. Wasn't a lot going off. I was away for most of the weekend. And we had a little discussion last week about Saliba. Should we keep him? A lot of people were saying maybe he should go to the Championship and get experience. Of course, he lost his mother. He's had a very difficult period. My opinion was very much, I want to see him at Arsenal. I think they need to look after him and kind of raise him at Arsenal. You know, take away some of the pressure, play him in the cup games. But why have they not registered him for the Europa League? Why leave him out the Europa League squad and then decide you want to keep him? You know, they don't seem very sure of their decisions at Arsenal, man. And it worries me sometimes. Yes, Abby, big up Big C. Big up Curtis from Taib. Big up Curtis from Omar. Big up Omar, man. Big up Curtis. What does this mean? Ozil is leaving. We'll get to Ozil shortly, man. There's always plenty to talk about when it comes to Mr. Mesut Ozil. It's baffling, these decisions, 100%. You know, why do they change their mind the week after? That's fantastic news. Saliba must stay, no bloody loan. He can learn many things from the senior players. Do not effing loan Saliba, should keep it. I mean, you've got to look at it, man. Look at the centre-backs at the club. Apart from Gabriel, what centre-back do we really rate in this Arsenal squad at the moment? I don't really rate any of them. Looking at the centre-backs, what we've got 8 centre-backs at the club. You know, David Luiz, Pablo Mari, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Socrates, Saliba, Gabriel. You know, apart from Gabriel, I don't really rate them. So why not give Saliba a chance? You know, it's not like the other guys are on fire and he can't get a look in because they're so good. So keep him, man. I'm delighted that that he's staying. And, you know, I want to see him given a chance. As I say, it's just disappointing that he's not in the Europa League squad. So as you're saying here, I think Saliba is a homegrown player as we registered him last year. So we don't need to register him for the Europa. Now, I'm not too sure on that because I was reading up on this. And apparently he doesn't have to be registered to play in the Premier League because he's under 21. And can still play. But I read that because he hasn't been at the club for more than a year as a registered player of our club. Obviously, last year he was registered with Saint Etienne. He can't not be registered in the Europa League squad and still play. I'm not totally sure on that, but I did read up into that, and it said, you know, because he hasn't been at the club more than a year, despite the fact he's under 21, he can't play in the Europa League without being named in the 25-man squad. Which you can play young players who aren't in the 25 if they've been at the club more than a year. So let's see, man. It's crazy. Curtis, you need mods. Make me one. Listen, John, 100%. I'm going to select some mods this week. I'm doing a few things to the channel before the Arsenal game starts at the weekend. There will be a little upgrade, hopefully, this week. Got hopefully a little intro coming and stuff like that. Big up from Berlin, Curtis. Thanks a lot. So is Ozil out? And he's not out yet. He is not out yet. Do you genuinely think Ozil will play if injuries occur throughout the season? I don't, mate. I don't. We're going to get to Mesut Ozil shortly. I can see you. I can see you there, all eager to talk about Mesut. Curtis, do you think we missed out on Ben Rama from Brentford? Reports say he's going to go West Ham. I just don't think there was space for him. He plays predominantly on that left-hand side. You know, Aubameyang's played upon the left a lot, even though I think he would be better through the middle. But hey, that's a whole other subject. And, you know, with the likes of Martinelli, who can play on the left when he's fit, you know, Willian, and, you know, we've got players who can play there. So I just think Ben Rama, they did look at him, there's no doubt. Big up LA Lakers. Come on, man. I wanted LeBron to win that, man. Serious. Happy Thanksgiving from Canada. Big up. Hey. Big up. I was late. What did I miss? Hey, we're just talking about Saliba at the moment. We're going to get on to the Ozil subject shortly. Smash that like, guys, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm your guy for mods, Curtis. Do you know what? I'm going to need probably like 5 or 6 mods, because obviously there'll be times where, you know, some of you guys aren't on the live stream when I'm on, so there's no point having 1 or 2 moderators. I'm going to need 5 or 6. So if you want to be a mod, let me know. I know a few of you, John, Ebby, Omar, you guys, you know, I think Chris as well. There's a few of you who've mentioned it, so I'll go through and pick you guys if you want to be mods. I appreciate that help. Curtis, all those defenders you name are better than that fridge in Manchester. Yeah, man. I watched the highlights of that England game last night. There was no way I was watching that live. I actually struggle to watch an England game. It's so boring. They've got to get rid of these international breaks. Jamaica in the building. Big up. Hey, man. Big up all the way from Tanzania. Respect. Arsenal to sell Kolasinac, Bellerin, Mustafi, Chambers, Ozil, Lacazette, Nelson, 2021. I don't think you'll get them in January, bro, but maybe at the end of the season. What's the loyalty bonus? Come on, let's get into it. Curtis mod, bro. Just let's pay Ozil off ASAP. Just make bloody mods already, Curtis. Sick of all these desperate pleas. All right, no problem. This week, promises, I will pick mods. I'm gonna need 5 or 6 of you. Let's do this. Big up, Curtis. Respect, bro. Wouldn't mind being a mod, to be honest, but that's if you and the chat are fine with it. No problem, Omar, man. Commitment from you, bro. I know you're a moderator on a few other channels. I promise you guys, I will sort that this week. Right, so Saliba's staying at the club. Good news for everyone at Arsenal. As I said, can't play in the Europa League, as far as I'm aware, until January, when you can change the squad again. But he can play Premier League. He can play Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I'm sure there'll still be an opportunity for, you know, Saliba to get 15 games this season. And you know, he'll play under 23 games, train with Arteta. Come on, man, plenty of time. Listen, let's get into the Mesut Ozil situation. It always causes lots of debate. You know, a guy that we seem to constantly be arguing about. So, news has come out that Mesut Ozil, around 2 weeks ago, received an £8 million loyalty bonus from Arsenal. Arsenal had to pay Mesut Ozil £8 million. What this was a clause in Mesut Ozil's contract that stated if he started the last year of his contract as an Arsenal player, then Arsenal had to pay him £8 million for his loyalty for staying at the club. This is a regular thing in contracts with big players. Big up Marcus Shard with a super chat. This is a regular thing in players' contracts. I've actually had something like this in a contract myself, although I didn't get £8 million. There was a few less O's than that for sure. But listen, what clubs will do, they'll give you a 3 or 4 year contract, and they'll say, look, if you start the last year of your contract at the club, we will pay you a big bonus. It is to encourage a player not to leave the club before the contract ends. So Mesut Ozil, when Arsenal were trying to sell him in the summer, and he knows he's got an £8 million contract clause coming up at the start of the next season, There's absolutely no way he was going to leave the club in the summer. Why would he? Only a fool's going to walk away from £8 million. Doesn't matter how rich he is. So Arsenal completely messed themselves up with this deal. The whole deal was a shambles. I mean, I was looking. Mesut Ozil was on 140 grand a week on his first contract. We gave him 350 to stay at the club. I mean, why did we have to put his contract up by 210 grand a week? I don't think that kind of pay rise was necessary. You know, surely we could have got him for 200, 250 maybe at the most. Unbelievable. It's also come out that Mesut Ozil apparently not being in the Arsenal squad saves Arsenal around £100,000 a week. I think his actual basic wage is £250,000 a week, not £350,000. But with an appearance fee and a win bonus and a few other little things, he gets £350,000 a week. That is his contract, really. But with him not being in the squad, not getting win bonuses, goal bonus, being in the squad, it's saving the club around £100,000 per game that he's not involved, per week, sorry. So unbelievable, you know, £8 million bonus on top of a 350 grand a week deal. You know, this Gazidis has blood on his hands. I mean, how on earth? Now, this is where I question Stan Kroenke. Right, a lot of people talk about Kroenke and say, you know, some people defend him and say, you know, he has given us money, but we've spent it wrong. Obviously, some people say he needed to invest more. How on earth do you have a multi-billion-pound business? You hire a guy like Ivan Gazidis to run the club, and you do not oversee any of the deals this guy does. Are you telling me you didn't have to sign off that contract? Did you give Gazidis complete control to say, you know what, agree a contract and sign it off? Surely as the owner of a business, Gazidis should have to come to you and say, listen, man, we want to give Mesut Ozil a new deal. He's on 140. We've offered him 350 for 3 years. And after 2 years, we give him £8 million loyalty bonus. And you're telling me Stan Kroenke signed that deal off and said, yeah, that's fine, give it him. Unbelievable deal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know at the time we needed to keep Mesut Ozil at the club because in that window, in that January window, we lost Alexis Sanchez, who was our best player. Mesut Ozil was the second best player. There was no way we could lose both in the same window. But 350 and an 8 million bonus, unbelievable. Unbelievable the deal they gave this guy. And when you look at the performance levels of Ozil in the past few years, I mean, that deal really has been poor value for money, man. Hi, bro, from Amsterdam. Glad that Saliba is staying, but I believe that we still Ozil. Well, we've still got Ozil, that's for sure. Why is he getting 8 million bonus just to make it to the last year of his contract? You know, it was to encourage him to see out his contract. So Ozil must be sitting there thinking, you know, you guys gave me this deal. You're desperate to get me out. £13 million left on his contract. Imagine if they give him 13 million as well. He will have got £21 million in the last year of his contract from Ozil. Unbelievable business. Curtis, Ozil's agent is a beast. The man found every possible way to milk Arsenal dry. They allowed themselves to be milked. You know, they allowed themselves. Ozil laughing all the way to the bank. He is. This is a guy we've just left out of the Europa League squad. Curtis, don't get me started on Ozil. I think you know my thoughts on him. I know, Omar, I know. Let us know, man. Let the people know. You know my thoughts on Mesut Ozil if you watch my channel as well on a regular basis. Hit the like button, everyone. It helps the video be seen by more people. Big up 1-1. Smash that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Over 750 of you in the live at the moment. Thank you very much. I know it's not easy. There's not as much happening at the moment, with the transfer window closing and we're in that boring international break. But we'll do what we can, man. Big up, bro. Do you know Hugh Wizzy? Not personally. Obviously, I've seen some of his content. I've never actually met him, but, a good YouTuber. For his love of football and Arsenal, why doesn't he leave? I mean, listen, I just think he's at a stage now where he thinks, you know what? I don't care. I'm not leaving until you pay me the money. If you don't, I'll sit here for the season. Do you agree with that or not? I don't know. That's down to your opinion. All that nonsense from Ozil showing loyalty when he signed a new contract now, you know. His agents pulled an absolute worldie on us, man. Let's be honest. And why not? You know, why not? Smart deal from Ozil's agent, for sure, man. For sure. He got a great deal. I mean, £8 million loyalty bonus. Whoa, dear me. Big up, bro. It's my birthday today and I'm in quarantine. At least I have your channel. Ozil not playing because of mad appearance fees too. A real disaster. Can't wait to see Everton versus Liverpool. First of all, big up, man. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. And Ozil picking up their mad fees, man. But you can't blame him for not leaving. Arsenal have treated him like shit. Ozil is not the bad guy. I think it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, man. All right, mate, I'm starting to really dislike Ozil. All he cares about is the pound notes. Cheers. Aye, man, I'm telling you. I agree with it. I'm not leaving a job to go and work somewhere else for half the money or a third of the money, and nobody else would either. Yeah, it's true. 350k a week to play Fortnite. I'd take such a deal all day long. I think my biggest point with this whole deal, and I've said this a few times, it's a balanced situation. Look, they gave him 350 a week, right? And that's not his fault. The club felt desperate. They needed to keep him. They gave him that money. Cool. That's not Mesut Ozil's fault. I would have done the same. We'd have all done the same. Yeah, there's 350. Well, you know, in my head, I don't think I even need that much, but I'm gonna sign the contract and take it. Cool. What my problem is with Mesut Ozil is the lack of hunger to play football. That is my issue with Mesut Ozil. They're leaving you out of the Europa League squad. They're going to leave him out of the Premier League squad. Everything seems to be leading towards that. They're trying to get him out of the club. Now, you can't just keep saying, oh, it's the club's fault. You know, Arsene Wenger was leaving Mesut Ozil out of big away games towards the end of his tenure. Unai Emery tried to leave him out, but the fans turned on Emery. Oh, we need creativity. Get Ozil back in. But it didn't really improve the creativity that much because our team was dysfunctional. It wasn't as simple as get Ozil in and we create. It was more the team and the structure of football wasn't right. Even Freddie Ljungberg wasn't playing Ozil every week. And then you get Arteta in. Okay, Arteta was playing him up to the pandemic. But then since the pandemic, he hasn't played him. I do think that decision came from above Arteta. And I do think that is because he rejected the pay cut. But I think Mesut Ozil is as much at fault as the club. I don't think it's just Ozil's fault, and I don't think it's just the club's fault. But he is not blame-free in this situation. As a footballer, I'm not saying, Mesut, walk away from your contract and go and play football. You have to get paid up a certain amount of money. But, you know, to sit there and seem to have no real interest in playing football and just collecting your wages. I want to see Mesut Ozil come out and say, do you know what? I love it at Arsenal. I've got a real connection with the fans, but I'm not playing football and I'm going to have to look to play football elsewhere. But I will not leave without being paid what I feel I deserve. I think everybody would agree with that. Everybody would agree with that. Cool, you're contracted. Why would you walk out on a contract without payment to cancel that contract early? We all understand that. But where is your hunger and desire as a footballer? I don't see it. I don't see a guy that is desperate to play football. He seems too happy with not playing. And that's my issue with Mesut Ozil. He has a lot of fans out there. You know, some fans, I think, sometimes defend him too much. I get it. You know, a lot of people love him as a player. I was a huge fan of Mesut Ozil for a long time at Arsenal. I thought he was a great player. The connection he had with Santi Cazorla, Alexis Sanchez, he was the first major signing that we signed after the stadium was paid off. So I am thankful that he came to the club and that we saw a lot of good times from him. But let's be honest. He's got 5 assists since January 2018. 5 assists. Now, I know he hasn't played every week. I know he hasn't always been a regular. But he's made enough appearances. And for a player of his ability with Lacazette and Aubameyang in the front line, for Ozil to have got more than 5 assists. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of number 10, it's going out of the game. You know, football goes in roundabouts. It changes. that Juan Mata, that David Silva, that Mesut Ozil kind of floating number 10 that doesn't have to defend much. It's going out of the game. It's going out of the game now. You need 3 centre midfielders who are functional, who work hard, who run, who can get on the ball, and you work as a collective. You look at all the teams now. Man City have moved on David Silva, who's a Man City legend. Juan Mata doesn't play at United. James Rodriguez, even, who's a number 10, he's kind of operating off the right-hand side. It's the way football goes. Mesut Ozil, the role he plays, we can't afford to carry him in that role, unfortunately. Still a talented player. And my problem with Arsenal in this situation is we've fallen between the two categories. On one hand, Mesut Ozil, we should have either got rid of him in the summer or paid him up, or we should have involved him and said, you know what, you're going to be a squad player. We'll use you when necessary. But we've kind of got caught in the middle. Well, do you know what? We're not going to use you. We don't want you at the club, but we haven't sold you. We haven't loaned you out. We haven't paid you up. We're literally stuck in the middle. And that doesn't work. That's why we're in a mess. And this situation is toxic because every press conference until he leaves the club now, Arteta's going to have to answer questions about Mesut Ozil. And that is counterproductive. Now, someone in the comments there is saying, oh, don't hate on Ozil. Why would I hate on Mesut Ozil? I'm an Arsenal fan. If Mesut Ozil was doing the business right now, I would love to see Mesut Ozil in the team setting up Aubameyang. Loads of assists and throwing up M's. And, you know, I was a big fan of Mesut Ozil. I'm an Arsenal fan. But I'm an Arsenal fan more than an Ozil fan. Let's make that right. You know, we've seen Thierry Henry and Van Persie and Sanchez leave the club. Bigger players at Arsenal than Mesut Ozil. I'm not going to lose any sleep when a player leaves the football club. I was a fan of Ozil, but I don't like the situation now. I don't see a player that's hungry enough to play football. And I think Arsenal have managed the situation wrong as well. It should have been kept quiet. They should have dealt with it and got him out, or they should have involved him, got him fit. And that's where I'm at on Ozil. Saying hate on Ozil is a silly comment. Well, I don't hate one player at Arsenal. There's players there that I don't rate. Ozil is one of the best football players at Arsenal. If you're talking about understanding of football and technical ability, everyone knows that. If you're talking about Mesut Ozil. But can he perform at that high standard often enough? Can he perform at the standard that we've seen Aubameyang perform at for the last 2 years? I don't think he can. It's not all his fault. If Mesut Ozil played for Manchester City, who keep the ball, dominate possession, and their attack is so functional, Ozil would probably still look like a good player. But in this Arsenal team that has struggled for 3 or 4 years now, and we need a midfield where you work and you're functional and we're high pressing, having Ozil as number 10, it's going to be counterproductive, man. And that's the reality of it, man. There's no hating on Mesut Ozil, bro. You know? He's 31. He hasn't played regular football for a couple of years. It happens to footballers. They fade, man. That's the way it is. No hate. But we got to sort the situation out. It's counterproductive. Let's get into your comments. No ranting, but I just had to explain the point in full because, you know, sometimes when you lay some sort of criticism at a player, you know, they say you're hating. I'm not hating on him one bit, man. Not one bit. I appreciate him as a footballer. But, you know, the whole situation has been questionably handled from both sides, from the club and the player. Yeah, we can get in a good team. We have been terrible, though. Exactly, man. Come on. We all know that. We all know that. This is Arsenal Football Club, not Mesut Ozil Football Club. Please, Ozil fanboys, get that. And this is the thing. Look, I understand loving a player. You know, I used to love Thierry Henry and that. But when these guys leave, you move on, man. And also, sometimes you have to be honest and say, that guy is not at the level he used to be at. Or we have a team that will not allow us to get the best out of that player. We've been playing 3-4-3 for a while now, right? In that formation, 2 wing-backs, 2 centre midfielders, 2 wingers and 1 striker. Where can you play Mesut Ozil in that formation? You can't play him in a 2 centre mid because they've got to put work in. you could only probably play him left or right of the front three. And let's be honest, you're not going to play Mesut Ozil right wing at this stage in his career. He hasn't got the pace to do that. When you've got Willian and Pepe, you're not going to play him there. So listen, man, all I would say, it's cool if you're a big fan of Mesut Ozil. That's fine. That's fine. He's been at the club a long time. I understand it. He was a huge player when we signed it. But listen, come on. The club are in the wrong to a point, but come on, we have to move on from this story now. There's bigger things to worry about. From all I'm hearing from people is that Arsenal are trying to get Ozil out the door in the next few weeks. I think they're trying to pay him up if they can come to an agreement. I mean, Ozil's got 13 million left on his contract, and he's asking for pretty much all of it to leave the club. Are they going to pay him all of it? Probably not, but I think they'll come to an agreement. I think you'll see him get 9-10 million and move on. The biggest PR for Ozil if they don't select him. Mustafi's been offered a 5-year contract. No chance, bro. No chance. With the work rate, Mesut Ozil ain't making Pep's bench, Curtis. Probably not nowadays. Probably not now. The sooner he's gone, the better. We need to move on from Ozil. Big up yourself, Curtis. Do you think we can get something at City? I do. And I'm glad you've mentioned City, actually, because I'm reading here that Man City have got no Gabriel Jesus and no Sergio Aguero for the game against Arsenal on Saturday. So that is a huge boost for Arsenal. They've got no out-and-out striker for that game. So they'll probably play Sterling false 9 in that game, which, I don't want to jinx anything, but he's a lot easier in a striker role to handle than a Sergio Aguero, who always seems to score against us. Why do Ozil supporters refuse to see he has declined? I mean, it's difficult. They're big fans of him, man. Arsenal renew a wrong player contract at the time. Should have given it to Alexis, not Mr. O. I totally agree with that. I think the problem with Sanchez, he wasn't popular in the dressing room. Whereas Mesut Ozil was very popular. No chance Arsenal have second worst shots. There you go, in the league. I thought Aguero was match ready. No, they're saying he's only just resuming light training at City. He's not match fit yet. So he won't be playing. Curtis, since Aubameyang signed the contract, he hasn't scored. Do you think what's happened to Ozil will happen to Aubameyang? It's funny, a few people have said that. I would like to think not. But yeah, hopefully it's just coincidental that, Aubameyang hasn't scored since signing the contract. Hopefully a goal against Manchester City, that would go down great. The game has moved on from Ozil. No one uses lazy number 10s anymore. I don't want to use the word lazy, but I get what you mean. Yeah, the number 10 that doesn't work very hard, shall we say. 1,000 of you in the chat at the moment. Big up all you guys for supporting. Smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate all you lot tuning in. Hit the like button as well. Keep your comments coming in. I'll read as many as I can. Curtis, what will your starting lineup be v City? Oh, it's a difficult one. I'm going to do a preview. I'll do a preview on Thursday. I'd like to see, just quickly, I'd like to see Partey, Ceballos and Willian as the midfield three. And then Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette as the front three. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe go Saka on the left, Aubameyang through the middle, Pepe on the right. Give Lacazette a rest. I want to see Aubameyang through the middle, man. I'm sorry. I like him through the middle. I think he can score even more goals there. Sure, I just smashed the like. Big up, man. Have you been offered a place to watch the City game at the Emirates? I got some email about it, but no, I've got no interest in doing that, to be honest. Let's see. Why don't we bring Ozil just for substitute? I mean, they want him out. They want him out, and the easiest way to get a player out is to not involve him whatsoever. Real Madrid have won 4 Champions League since Ozil left. Wow. Serious comment. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti, if you read all the stories were that Ancelotti had to choose between Di Maria and Ozil, which player to sell in order for them to bring Gareth Bale to Real Madrid. And he chose Mesut Ozil. And the following season, Di Maria was one of their best players. I mean, he was very good at Madrid, but as I said, that work rate, they had to give up the number 10 for the functional midfield three. I'm not telling no lies, man. Sounds like a good lineup on paper. Will Partey be ready for the match? I mean, Partey's playing for Ghana at the moment, so I'm sure his fitness is fine. He played the week before international duty for Atletico Madrid, played 90 minutes. Look, to me, he's match fit. I would put Partey straight in the team against City. Let him rough up De Bruyne and them. I'd pick the same front three in midfield. I'm telling you, that's what I would go with. And I think that will cause City problems. As I said, no Aguero and no Jesus for Manchester City in the Arsenal game. Massive boost for Arsenal. Not too sure what the situation is with Tierney. There's different rules for Scotland and England regarding the COVID-19. Yeah. So what I've been reading, Kieran Tierney, of course, is in 2-week quarantine in Scotland. If you come into close contact with somebody who's tested positive for COVID-19 in Scotland, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks, even if you test negative. So, of course, Stuart Armstrong and Tierney were sharing a room and on international duty. Armstrong tested positive for COVID. Tierney tested negative, but because they were in close proximity, Tierney has to quarantine for 14 days. That 14 days doesn't finish till the Tuesday after the Manchester City game. Arsenal have appealed it, but the problem is the Scottish government have different rules to the English government. So they've tried to appeal as exceptional circumstances, but the Scottish government have refused. They're saying, look, every normal person in Scotland has to apply that rule. So, they're not going to make an exception for him. So it looks like Tierney will miss the game against Manchester City. So that causes a problem. If we were to play four at the back, I think Saka's got to probably play left back then instead, because there's no way we can't be playing Kolasinac left back. That is for certain. So that's very disappointing, man, that Tierney, he's actually still in Scotland at the moment. Partey, Ceballos, Willian or Saka, 3-man midfield against City. I agree with that. I think Partey and Ceballos would be good. I just don't think Xhaka is mobile enough. He doesn't really do well in these games against the likes of City. Curtis, do you think Saka can play as the left centre mid in a 4-3-3? Possibly. He does seem like he can play central as well. Very talented player. Big up from Australia. We're going to win the league because Arteta has proven he can beat the big teams. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, bruv. I love your optimism, and I hope you're right, of course. But, we haven't beaten the big teams away from home in the Premier League for a long time. So hopefully this can be the start of it. Let's go and beat City at the Etihad, man. Have you heard Liverpool fans waffling after their Villa defeat? They are all so delusional. I mean, they're the champions, man. So I suppose they can kind of say what they want. Sanchez wasn't popular because he always wanted to win. You're right. Those famous words from Hector Bellerin. Sanchez wanted to win too much. I mean, come on. I couldn't stand that loser's comment, what he made there. I really didn't like that. Proper loser's mentality, that comment was. He wants to win too much. That's what winners do, bruv. They want to win. Curtis, Talk is Cheap out tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's not out till Thursday this week. With all the international games and stuff, we're going to wait until Thursday. Look out for that show. We got great numbers on that last week. Over 1,100 of you in the chat at the moment. As I say, subscribe to the channel. Gone past 15K. On the road to 20K now. Bigger and better. Hopefully a new intro on the channel this week as well. I'll get some of the moderators started as well for this week. No, man, Partey will start. Partey has to start. I mean, what's your guys' opinions? Partey's just come in. Is it too soon for you to start him, or do you throw him straight in? For me, 100% I'm starting him against Manchester City. He's better than what we've got. And there's no way I'd be waiting. We've got a very difficult 3 games coming up as well. Yeah, big up. We've got Manchester City away, Leicester at home, Man United away. Next 3 games now, they will be difficult games. Xhaka is too slow in a Premier League midfield. I do think the pace, it's not so much the lack of running pace, it's the lack of speed in which he moves the ball, but, you know, he gets caught too much. Who will score more, Pepe or Bale? I mean, this is a difficult one because will the manager pick Pepe on a regular basis? You know, you can see Bale being picked most weeks, but Bale is injury prone. I'd like to say Pepe as long as he's picked, but I got to be honest, man. I don't know if Arteta's going to pick him all the time. Who's your top six? In no order, I'll go. All right, I will go in order, actually. I think Liverpool will win the league again. I think City will come second, Chelsea third, Arsenal fourth, Tottenham fifth, Man United sixth. That's the top six for me. I think Solskjaer's the worst manager in the top six, and I think that's why United will struggle at times. They have got good players, but I don't see a system there. Afternoon, Curtis, bro. Lots of love from South Africa. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Pepe against Sheffield United was peak. Yeah, he was on fire, man. Someone saying there, sorry, it's gone off. There's no way Pepe will score more than Bale. The problem is he won't play every week, in my opinion. You know, I don't think he'll play every week. And you can just imagine there'll be games where Bale gets, you know, he'll score 2 or 3 in certain games. Where Pepe will get dragged off or he'll be on the bench coming on. So, look, if Arteta played him, then I think Pepe could bag goals this year. But I'm not sure whether he'll play enough games. I hope he does, though. Are you worried about this Tottenham team and Mourinho? I mean, I'm not worried about Tottenham, but we have to be honest. Mourinho's a top manager. I would have liked him at Arsenal. I'm not going to tell lies on that. And, you know, their front three, Son, Kane and Bale, will be difficult. But I still think there's weaknesses in that Tottenham team. And having to play Europa League will be difficult. You know, the Thursday night thing, they haven't had to manage that before. So that will affect them. Yaya Toure proved that you don't need to be fast to play in the Prem. Yaya Toure was very slow. Everyone knew that, but he always performed. Bruv, though, listen. Did you see Yaya Toure when he was a little bit younger? He used to run through midfields. He didn't look slow in them days. Towards the back end of his career, I admit his legs did go. But he was still quality on the ball. He was strong. He moved the ball quickly. But in the middle of his time at Man City, Yaya was not slow. He was very quick. He used to burst through midfields. Big up, Curtis. Love your channel. Definitely play Partey. Yeah, I agree. Partey's got to start. Imagine he just comes in and just roughs up De Bruyne on his debut. Be honest, Curtis, do you rate Willock? I don't see what the fuss is about. For me, he isn't up there with the likes of the Chelsea kids like Mount and Gilmore. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Joe Willock. I think there is potential there. There is talent. But the end product's not good enough. And I think that Willock needs a loan. I think he looks like somebody that hasn't played a lot of first-team football. And at the moment, not quite up to it. But you never know. Maybe he develops this season. Santi Cazorla was also slow, the slowest in the team. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's not about running speed. It's about how you move the ball. You know, Xhaka doesn't move the ball quickly. That's the problem for me. Bless you, Curtis. Hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot, Darren. Hope you're well, bro. Hey, Curtis, give me your first Arsenal 11. So I'll go Leno in goal. We'll go back 4. We'll go Bellerin, Luiz, Gabriel, Tierney. I'll go Partey, Ceballos, Willian, and then I'll go Saka, Aubameyang, Pepe, front 3. That's what I want to see at the moment. Curtis, have you seen our next 5 games? Ollie is getting sacked. Do you think they will get Poch? I think they will. But I honestly want to see Ollie there as long as possible. I don't want Poch to go there. Keep Ollie in, man. I don't see them achieving anything major with him as manager. Milk turns faster than Xhaka. Oh, man. Xhaka on the turn, man. He worries me. Partey will start. I hope you're right, man. Don't do that typical, new signing. Let's play it safe and keep him on the bench. And maybe we'll start him the week after in the home game against Leicester. Just put him in and play him. Let him go. What's happening with Smith Rowe? I believe he's injured at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they loan him out, you know. Partey and Xhaka are too defensive. How do we fit in Ceballos unless we play 4-3-3? Yeah, exactly. For me, I would drop Xhaka. I would leave Xhaka out. Curtis, be real. He's playing Eddie and Xhaka. Oh my God. I mean, if he plays them two, just forget it. But it wouldn't surprise you, would it? It would not surprise you. Partey's in his prime, 27. He has to play. No excuses, Arteta. I agree with that. He has to start. Your thoughts on Arteta's appearance, on Ozil's appearance fee? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Contract so big, the appearance fee would be huge. Over 1,200 of you watching at the moment. Fantastic support. Big up you guys for all your comments, man. Thank you very much. Smash the likes. Less than 300. Let's get that past 300, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. Really appreciate you guys' support. Let's see what you're saying. Ceballos left. El Neni CDM. Partey box to box against City. Free ball playing midfielders. Interesting. Personally, I wouldn't play El Neni against City, but I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Let's see. Xhaka is a holding midfielder. Arteta will help him learn. Even our manager was slow in midfield. He was. But he did move the ball quite quick. We have not seen Ozil in the squad for a long time. I can't judge him until I see him play. I think it's more a political issue. Fair enough. I got the 300th flight. Hey, big up, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Does Partey have to isolate as he is in Turkey? He doesn't. Footballers, if they go there with their nation to play for the national team, because they're in this bubble, as they call it, they don't have to isolate. So thank you for your comment. Really appreciate that. So no, Partey does not have to isolate. Should Arsenal go back to Nike? I have to admit, I did love the Nike kits back in the day. They were quite plain, the home kits, but I just love Nike. Adidas have made some really nice kits for Arsenal since they've come back. Though I swear, Eddie plays, we ain't winning. I agree. I don't want to see Eddie play against City. Big up, Curtis. Do you think we'll see Gabriel and Saliba together in the Prem this season? I hope so. Really hope so, man. Because that's why I'm so glad that Saliba now looks like he's going to stay till the end of the season. Because I was excited to see these two young players, quick, mobile, both come from the French league. The French league is a very physical league, by the way. Let's hope so. I think we will at some stage. I think we will see them play together. No Aguero, that's a relief. I'm telling you, man. Aguero always seems to score against Arsenal. Arteta's getting the best out of Xhaka, and he still ain't good enough. I'm sorry, but I have to agree. I have to agree with that. I think Arteta is getting the best of him, and I don't still think Xhaka is the answer. I want Saka, Aubameyang, Pepe as the front three. I would like that. Mismanagement by the board. It's still operating in a shambolic way. They just can't seem to be clear about the decisions they're making. It is very frustrating at times. Did you watch the Ghana game? Partey didn't play that well. I heard they got beaten. Was it 3-0 or something? He didn't play well. But anyway, man, don't worry about that. Get him back to Arsenal. Get the big boys around him and we'll be all right. Curtis, Everton v Liverpool prediction. I think he'll be close. I think Liverpool will still win. I'll go Liverpool 2-1, but Everton have improved a lot. Big up, Curtis. You don't start Partey immediately. Bring him on at half-time like Thiago for Liverpool and not the debut for what's-his-name for Chelsea with the howler. I would start him, though. I think Liverpool knew that they could still beat Chelsea without, Thiago starting that game. And Thiago, I believe, wasn't fully fit. I think Bayern Munich had only just started and he wasn't playing. Where Partey has played for Atletico, he has played for Ghana. I don't know. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Maybe you bring him in slower, but I would start him against City. So, Curtis, you saw how our brother messed up the deal. I respect Arsenal for standing their ground. If we don't get him, leave and get someone else. We shouldn't beg players to join us. I do agree with that. Awar's brother was apparently asking for a transfer signing on fee that would have gone above £20 million. I wouldn't have paid that. To be honest, I wouldn't have paid it. I don't think you should pay that for a player who's not, he's not an absolute world beater yet. There's a lot of talent there. We know that. But yeah, I wouldn't have paid that. Although it's not my money. I would have liked to have seen our at the club. But hey, big up C. Arteta needs to make a statement of intent with his first 11 against City. We can't leave it until the 60th minute. The game could be over before half-time. Get him involved. Come on, you Gunners. Totally agree. 20 million is a joke for a signing on fee, man. Unbelievable. Trust me, bro. Arteta will play Eddie up front and Kolasinac at left back. If he does that, forget it. I want to see Pepe run circles around Mendy. Don't start Willian over Pepe anymore. Yeah, I want to see them both play different roles. Pepe on the right, Willian in the 10. And you know what, actually? Pepe ran Mendy. He ran him ragged at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. So definitely play him. I would play Willian as a 10 with Xhaka and Partey at the back. I think it could be Xhaka and Partey. As much as I wouldn't play Xhaka, I think Mikel Arteta loves him, and he will probably play him, to be honest. I'm confident for City. I think we'll beat them. No cap, my G's. And Omar is a very, how should we say, pessimistic Arsenal fan, So if you're saying, listen, with no Aguero, no Sterling, and Man City a little bit out of form, I don't see any reason we can't go to the Etihad and have a go at them. I don't want to see that starting 11, that negative starting 11 where it's kind of like we've gone there to not lose and Eddie and Nketiah's up front. Go there and play your attacking players and attack them. You're never going to get a better time to play Man City. The Aguero's out. Jesus is out. They've lost a few games. They're not in good form. Go there and attack. Go there and attack. Big up, Curtis. What's up? Hey, big up, man. I would play 4-3-3 with a number 10 with Xhaka, Partey, Ceballos in midfield. It's good. Again, I wouldn't play Xhaka, but they will. We are winning this, Curtis. Pepe number 7, Willian 10. That's it. That's exactly what I would pick. Favourite Arsenal fan on AFTV. Hey, big up, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the support. Don't forget, 1,400 of you watching right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all your support. Buying Partey put more pressure on Arteta for top spot. Yeah, but he's got to do the business, man. This is the time. You got better players, so you got less excuses. Smash the likes up, you lot. Thank you very much. Leno, Bellerin, Luis, Gabriel, Saka at left back. You've got there. Ceballos, Partey, Willian, Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang. I'd be more than happy with that team there. Because, listen, we need to be playing Saka at left back ahead of Kolasinac. If Tierney doesn't play, that's for sure. Hey, man, big up Lakers last night. I had to get the shirt on, man. I had to get the 23 on, the LeBron shirt. I had to get it on. Big up Lakers last night, this morning. That was for Mamba. Mamba forever, man. Oh, I'm telling you, it was great to watch. Pepe will score 15 Premier League goals. I hope you're right, man. Hope he gets enough game time to score 15 Premier League goals. Yeah, man, the Lakers. R.I.P. Kobe, man, absolute legend. I'm sure he would have been smiling down watching that. I think playing him right wing forces him to solely create, but out wide gives Willian the opportunity to have more of a holistic game. Interesting. Big up Curtis. Can't wait for Arteta's next summer transfer window since most of the contracts are running down. Love from Kenya. Thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of people out of contract. Fire top. Yeah, man. A lot of people out of contract. I just subscribed. Thanks a lot, Stanley. I appreciate that, bro. I think Willian should be a super sub for us rather than a starter. I'd put Ceballos behind the front three. Boy's got skills. Willian can come on left, right, or centre, depending on where we need him. Yeah, good point. Big up Curtis. Big up Lakers. Hey. People are saying Arteta got back. So if we don't get top 4, do you think Arteta should be sacked? That's interesting. That is interesting. I wouldn't sack him, but it depends how far away we are from the top 4. Big C, Partey and Ceballos pivot. What you're saying, I'm about that. I like that, man. Trust me, man. Love you, Curtis. Thanks a lot, bro. What is a good result against City? I mean, a win. Let's go there and try and beat them. I mean, a draw wouldn't be bad, but we got to break this. We got to break this thing of not beating top 6 teams away. Just subscribe. Thanks a lot, AR. Appreciate that, bro. We need to go there and attack Man City, man. Forget all this sitting back. How did he get back? Arteta needs 3 more players. I mean, he got back to a point. We needed a little bit more, but I think he's got enough to work with. You know, I think if Arteta can get that team settled in the right system, I think we can get top 4. Big up from Jamaica. Appreciate it, Michael. Come on, you Gunners from Indonesia. Hey, Curtis. Greetings to all you guys. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your support. Do you think Gabriel will start against City? 100 million%. And if he doesn't, if Arteta comes with that madness that he done against Liverpool, leaving Gabriel out, mate, I'll be fuming. Big up, Curtis. Given the money and wages we will have available next summer, will we probably be linked to a bigger and better name than our? I mean, I hope so. I think our next summer will be linked with the likes of Real Madrid and that. I think we had an opportunity this summer because those clubs couldn't spend money. So maybe we've missed that boat. Marky said, I'm in lockdown in Nottingham. How about you, bro? Oh, I hope you're okay, man. Big up all my Notts people. That's where I'm from. Things aren't going well up there with the whole lockdown situation. I'm not in lockdown at the moment, but it's crazy, man. All over the world at the moment. You know, the government are changing the rules. There's an announcement today. They're changing things. It's crazy, man. I'm going to get going. Let me just read this super chat before I go. Good day from Australia. Why can't the club terminate the Ozil contract? Doesn't the club have any power? I mean, listen, the guy wants, big up Mitchell with the super chat. The guy wants his 13 million that's left on his contract. Unless they give him the 13 million, he's not going nowhere. So the club are trying to negotiate. Yes, Curtis, big up from Islington. Ozil is holding us at ransom. He's going to want his money, man. They got to pay him. Final comment, big up yourself, see, like your contents, bro, love. Hey, I appreciate that. First time in a few years, we are optimistic for the season. I just want the guys to do their best every game. That's what we are all asking for. We'll finish on that one. Great comment, very positive. Oh, go on then, one more. You put one more in. Hey, Curtis, love the show. Watching from Germany. Ozil will have a lot to say about Arsenal whenever he leaves. Keep your ears open. I'm sure he will. That one won't just end. Thank you all you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try and do the daily streams again. Obviously, just, you know, when things are happening, it was very quiet over the weekend. Over 1,400 of you tuning in at one time. Fantastic support. Big up all you guys in the comments. As I say, little upgrade on the channel hopefully this week with an intro. I'll make you guys moderators this week. Big up the Lakers, man, on their win last night. Great to watch that. All you basketball fans, hope you enjoyed that. Big week for Arsenal. No Aguero, no Jesus. This has got to be the best time to go to Man City and beat them and break that curse against top 6 clubs. And finally, let's go and beat Pep in his own backyard. I'll be back again tomorrow. Everyone take care. Have a great day. And take care of yourselves. Bless.